Unit 34, Section 3. Determining an unknown angle when two sides of a right triangle are known. Now we've already done something very similar to this, okay? What we have had in the past, we had the ratio of the two sides, but it was given in decimal form. For example, let's say we're looking for an angle that has the sine of the angle is equal to 0.732, something like that. That's an example of something that we had before. And we need to find sine of the angle A, and we needed to find angle A. So we got our calculators, and we said we hit the arc sine. Remember, we had the arc sine. If you're looking for the ratio, and you have the angle, you use the normal sine, cosine, and tangent. When you're looking for the angle and you have the ratio, you use arc sine, arc cosine, and arc tangent. So I have the ratio, it is 0.732, and I shut it off. And I'm looking for the angle. So I say second function, sine, and then 0.732. And I hit 47 degrees approximately. Okay, now we're still going to be doing this almost exactly that way, except for instead of a ratio that's given in decimal form, I'll be given the ratio in fraction form. So if I had, so you'll be given a triangle, like something like this. This is a big one. And let's say that you're given this as angle A, all right? And then let's say you're given this side as 5 and this side as 13. And then the question is, what is angle A? Well, let's take a look at the sides that we're given. This is my reference angle. So this is my opposite or my y, and this is my hypotenuse or my r value. So the trig function that deals with y and r is sine. Remember that we went over that a few minutes ago. So sine of angle A is equal to 5 over 13. So on my calculator, the way I do that, get that out of there. A couple of different ways you can do it. Let me get just a little closer so you can see what happens up here. I have to go second function, arc sine, and then I can use my fraction bar like that, put 5 in the numerator and 13 in the denominator, and it's 22.62 degrees or so. If you don't have the fraction bar, you can say arc sine, start a parenthesis, 5 divided by 13, and the parenthesis. You can put it in just like that. And then hit equals, and it gives you the same answer, 22.6 degrees-ish or so. Now the trick here is to understand what sides you're given so that you know what trig function to answer or to put in. So let's see here. Let's go to that first example on page 858. So we've got, I went and drew that first one nice and neatly, now I'm just, there. What is this side? This side down here is 8.9. And this one is 4.27. Okay, we need to find this angle right there. So if this is my reference angle, then that means that this is my y value and this is my x value. So that means that this is my opposite over adjacent. And the tangent function, tangent of angle A, is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So it'll be 4.27 over 8.9. That's a 4. So that means on my calculator, I hit second function, arctangent, start a parenthesis, 4.27 divided by 8.9, end the parenthesis, and I get 25.6 degrees. So that's what that angle is right there. So let's see here. Let's go to page 860, and we have several different triangles there. Let me find one. Have we done one like that? Let's go all the way down to 18. Try to make this right. There's my 90. And we are looking for, it doesn't matter here. All we're looking for is this angle and that angle. And it does not matter which one we find first, because remember, this angle and this angle are complementary. All right, so if I find one, I take that and subtract it from 90 to find the other. However, I'm going to do it differently here. This one I believe was D, and this one is C. This side is given to me as 49 I gotta get better glasses. 8.3, and this one is 53.962. Okay, so I'm going to use these two sides to find both of them. So if I'm trying to find this one, this side and this side, so this we have our hypotenuse and our adjacent. So that's a cosine function. So the cosine of D is equal to 49.83 divided by 53.962. So I go to my calculator and I say arc cosine, parenthesis, 49.83 divided by 53.962, end parenthesis. So angle D is equal to 568. Let's round that to that. Okay, I can find the other one now just by subtracting, but let's do it the other way. So let's say now I'm looking at angle C right here. So that means that this is now my opposite side and this is the hypotenuse. So that would be a sine function. So sine of angle C is equal to 49.83. Oops. 53.962. So now I go to arcsine. Now this is going to get me angle C, I'm using the same ratio, but it's a different function. This up here was a cosine function, and now I'm doing it as a sine function. So arc sine, parenthesis, 49.83 divided by 53.962, end the parenthesis, 67.432. Okay, so let's leave it at that. Now, let me add these two angles up, and of course, we should get, and we will, get 90. But let's confirm. So 22.568 plus 67.432 equal straight up 90. I rounded this one up just a little bit and this one down just a little bit, and it turns out just a little bit and just a little bit equaled. So it came out to be exactly 90 degrees. Okay, so we have done this before, except remember we did it by just a decimal ratio, and now we're doing it with fractions, and on top of that we have to determine which function to use, and we do that based on the sides that we have. If we have this side and this side, we use an arc tangent function. If we have this side and this side, we use an arc sine function. If we have this side and this side, we use an arc cosine function. If you had all three sides, then you can use whichever one you wanted to. And we didn't really have to go, like I said, we didn't have to go as far on this one to find both angles. We could have just simply found one and subtracted it from 90 to find the other. I chose to do it this way just to do it the other way. So that is finding an angle when you're given two sides of a triangle. And it does not matter which two sides of that triangle you're given. You just simply use the proper trig function, cosine or arc cosine, arc tangent, or arc sine.